you. Not about your professional efforts, not about the decisions you have made, but rather about your physical form and your appearance, about the manner in which you navigate through a space and the things they are expressing. I need you to find a seat for this, because the moment I reveal to you what is being conveyed, your jaw will surely drop. Not because it is unpleasant, though some of it certainly is, but because of what lies beneath their words. Because these two individuals, while they are dissecting you piece by piece with their words, are completely, utterly, and embarrassingly fixated on you, and they do not even comprehend the extent to which they are revealing their own internal state. Let me provide you with an illustration, because you deserve to perceive this with clarity. There exist two people, and you already possess an awareness of their identities, even if you have yet to admit it to yourself. One of them exudes more of a sharp, critical, and competitive energy. The other individual is more reserved, more emotional, and more entangled in feelings they would never dream of speaking aloud. And together, these two have turned you into their preferred subject of discussion, not merely on occasion, but consistently. You're the topic they repeatedly return to, much like a melody that one cannot banish from their thoughts, regardless of how hard they attempt to do so. You are consuming the most valuable real estate within their minds, rent-free, and the price they are paying is their own tranquility. They might be walking together somewhere outdoors, perhaps moving through an area with sufficient background noise that others cannot easily overhear them. A parking lot, a trail, or maybe even just driving around with the window slightly lowered. And throughout the duration, they are discussing you, your hair, your waist, your skin, and the way you walked into that room the last time. They are talking about how you looked when you were unaware that anyone was observing you. They are reviewing every single detail as if they are attempting to solve a riddle. And here is the reality. They are unable to solve it. That is precisely what is driving them absolutely insane, because what they are actually seeking is not a flaw. They are searching for their own blueprint. They are attempting to discern how you accomplish it, how you carry yourself in the manner you do, how you step into a space and cause the energy to shift. And they consistently return to your physical appearance, because that is the only element they can explicitly identify. That is the only tangible thing they can grasp and discuss aloud, without needing to acknowledge what they are truly experiencing. So they discuss your body, they discuss your physical looks, and the tone itself is what would shock you. It is not merely critical, it is desperate. It is two people reaching for something they are unable to name. They cannot even put a name to it. Now, here is where it becomes interesting, and this is where scientific principles meet spirituality in a way that will facilitate your liberation. Imagine stepping into a funhouse at a carnival. You gaze into a mirror, and it reflects an image of you that is unrecognizable, distorted, out of proportion, and strange. Naturally, you would not look at that glass and exclaim, "That is me." You would simply laugh, knowing that the mirror is inherently broken, and here is the specific scientific truth that will leave you stunned. Their commentary and their judgments regarding your body are exactly like that faulty mirror. Modern science demonstrates that our eyes do not function as cameras. In reality, our eyes only capture a minuscule fraction of the light and data present before us. The majority of what we perceive is, in fact, a controlled hallucination generated by our own brain. It is referred to as predictive processing. Because the brain receives such limited input from the eyes, it compensates for the gaps by utilizing past experiences, our brain's own internal insecurities, and its own inherent bitterness. When those two people are discussing your appearance at this very moment, they are not truly seeing you. They are taking 1% of your actual image and 99% of their own internal substance to construct a picture. Science. They are gazing at a low-resolution stretch, tinted by their own personal shadows. Their judgment is not an observation of your reality. It is a confession of their own mental distortion. Do not permit a hallucination to dictate your identity. The sharper of the two, the one possessing the critical edge, has had specific things to say about your body, whether concerning your weight, your waist, or your size. Something regarding the physical way you exist in the world. There may have been some genuine cruelty in those words, some fat-shaming energy, or conversely, something regarding how you have changed, how your body has shifted, and they dislike what that shift signifies, because what that shift represents is that you successfully navigated through something. You healed from something. You survived something that they expected would slow you down significantly, and you did slow down. That aspect is true. There was a period, perhaps involving health challenges, low energy, or something else, that kept you quieter and smaller for a time, and they noticed it. They observed, and in that noticing, some part of them found relaxation. Some part of them thought, okay, good, now things make sense again. Now the playing field feels level, and they might have even celebrated quietly and privately, in the manner people do when they never intend to admit what they are actually celebrating. They were hoping you would remain in that smaller, more contained version of yourself, because that version made them feel comfortable. They are desperately attempting to tally your flaws, because they simply cannot handle the intensity of your inner radiance. A dimmer light does not cause their eyes discomfort. But you were never intended to be dim. Never. But then you commenced moving once again, and that is what broke them open, because you returning, you rising up, you appearing once more in whatever form that took for you. That was not supposed to happen according to their timeline, or perhaps not at all. And when they witnessed it, when they clocked you doing the very thing they had quietly written off, something occurred within both of them from which they have yet to recover. The sharper individual became competitive, became vocal internally, and became almost frantic in that quiet, controlled way that competitive people exhibit when they realize the game they believed they were winning is still very much in play. They are nitpicking your physical appearance only because your spiritual authority intimidates them to their core. And the other one, the more emotional individual, felt something in their chest they cannot explain. Their heart actually exhibits a response when your name is mentioned. Their pulse fluctuates, and that you're furious about that, by the way. Absolutely furious. Here is what I desire for you to truly internalize, because this is the part that holds the most importance. Their words are not a reflection of your physical value. No, they are a public confession of their own private character. Every time they speak, they are handing you a mirror that reflects their own face, not yours. They discuss your body as though your body is the source of your power, as though if they can identify the correct words for what is wrong with it, they can neutralize you somehow. But they cannot, because what is causing them to lose their minds has nothing to do with whether you are a size 2 or a size 22, whether your hair is long or short, or whether your jawline is sharp or soft, is irrelevant. It is your energy. It is the quality of your presence. It is this quality, I am speechless, that radiates from you, which you likely do not even perceive in yourself right now. That quality makes people sense your presence when you walk into a room, even before they have consciously registered that you are there. And you cannot copy that. You cannot replicate it. You cannot reverse engineer it. They are attempting to anyway, but they are coming up empty-handed every single time. And the resulting frustration is making them messier, louder, and more obvious in ways they are entirely unaware of. You were created to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, not a carbon copy of their limited and uninspired expectations. The Creator did not consult them or solicit their opinion when he designed the masterpiece that is your soul and its vessel. So why would you consult with them now? Let me share something regarding the more emotional individual. This person harbors feelings for you that they are absolutely not managing well. It is not merely attraction. It is something more complicated than that. Something that resides in that strange space between fascination, longing, and resentment. They desire to be near your energy. They might even desire to be you in some capacity, or to be the person you are close to, or simply to be near enough to feel whatever it is that you project. And when your name arises in that conversation, something occurs within their body that they immediately attempt to manage and contain. They go along with the criticism because going along is safer, because agreeing with the harsh words regarding your body is the only way to remain in that conversation without revealing how unable they are to stop thinking about you. That is the burden they are currently carrying, that weight and that contradiction. They are sitting with feelings they would rather excise from themselves than acknowledge. And the only outlet they possess is these conversations where they can discuss you in a way that feels disguised as something else. You are the protagonist. They cannot stop observing you, even when they pretend to turn away in disgust. They are only speaking behind your back, because you are already miles ahead of them on the path of evolution. They are behind you, attempting to map a trail you have already traversed. The critical one, however, is in competition with you. It is not the sort of competition they would ever name aloud. It is the secret kind, the kind that resides in the gut, the kind that originated the moment they realized you were doing something in your life, becoming something in your life, in your space, your work, your creative world, your career, and your social circle that they desire for themselves. They desperately want it for themselves, and the fact that you possess it, or are in the process of obtaining it, lands in them like a splinter. It is small but constant, irritating in a way that never entirely dissipates, so they pick at your appearance. They do so because if they can make you appear a little less in their own minds, the gap between where you are and where they are shrinks slightly. It is not conscious. They never say that is what they are doing, but that is exactly what is happening. People only throw stones at the trees that are bearing the most beautiful and ripe fruit. You are heavy with abundance, and their arms are too weak to reach your branches, so they cast rocks, hoping something sweet will fall. And here is the wildest part. Even in those conversations, even while they are being unkind, there are moments where the truth slips through, where one of them says something that is just barely too specific, too detailed, and too close to describing something that only someone genuinely paying attention would notice. And the other one goes quiet for a brief moment before responding, because they both know, somewhere underneath all of it, that they are not just discussing you. They are confessing something. They are confessing that you matter to them far more than you should. Now, what they said regarding your body and your appearance is real, and I will not pretend that hearing it does not sting. But I want to flip this perspective entirely, because there is something in it that is actually about you, not about them. The things they are discussing, your waist, your hair, your skin, your mobility, and your presence, are things that have undergone shifts. You have transformed, you have changed, not just physically, though yes, physically as well, but you have endured something. You have navigated through something heavy, something that altered how you carry yourself. It may have altered how you look, but it definitely altered the quality of your energy, and they perceive that, even while they are being awful about it. You are not the same person you were a year or 2 years ago, and whatever was required to journey from there to here, the healing, the quiet, and the rebuilding present in your body now, lives in the way you walk. It is visible in a way you cannot fully articulate, because you are still in the midst of it. And here is what I need you to hear directly. The very things they are criticizing are the exact things that draw people to you. Your waist, your body, and the way you have changed are not flaws in the story. They are the story. The very features they mark today are the unique signatures of your identity that distinguish you from the crowd. They prove that something occurred, and that you are still here. They prove that you are the individual who continues moving, even when moving is genuinely difficult, and even when someone expected you not to. Your body is a temple of your soul, your beautiful body for your beautiful soul. But their gossip is nothing more than temporary gravity acting upon the outer walls. That gravity says nothing about the sanctuary or the temple, but everything about the vandal holding the spray can. There is a version of you they expected, smaller, quieter, more contained, more manageable, and less of whatever it is you are becoming, and they are watching that expectation crumble in real time, and they do not know how to handle it. So they talk, and they walk, and they attempt to solve the puzzle of you with words that are insufficient for what they are actually trying to express. Never trade your divine peace. Never trade your divine peace of mind for the price of someone else's cheap and uneducated opinion. Your peace is a currency they cannot afford to steal, and you, right now in this moment, already possessed an awareness of this. Perhaps not the details, but the feeling. You felt the energy of someone looking at you with too many layers. You felt someone become quieter when your name arose. You walked into a room and felt eyes that were not quite friendly, but not quite anything else either. You have experienced that sensation where someone's energy toward you is just slightly off. Just slightly too much or not enough, and you could not identify why. This is why. This is precisely why your intuition on this matter has been entirely accurate. It has been reading the room correctly, And now the question is not whether you were correct. You were. The question is what you choose to do with that knowledge. Because here is what I perceive. These two people do not have access to who you are becoming. They are operating based on an outdated version of you. They are criticizing a person who is already in the process of being outgrown, and they are not even aware of that yet. They are so occupied with picking apart what they believe they see that they have completely missed the reality. That you are building something quietly in your own time and in your own way. And whatever was directed your way, whatever was intended to slow you down, knock you off course, or make you doubt your capabilities, it did not succeed. Not permanently, perhaps temporarily. Perhaps you felt it, or stumbled a little, but not permanently. They desired to find a way to stop you. Yes, they always do. They've been searching for the information, the angle, and the level, and they are coming up with nothing because there is no level. There is no blueprint. You are not stoppable in the way they are imagining, and that is not arrogance. It is simply the reality of what happens when an individual is genuinely connected to their actions and their identity. You cannot replicate that. You cannot sabotage something that is rooted. Your value does not decrease based on someone else's temporary inability to perceive your worth. That value is constant. It is your blueprint, and I want you to sit with that for a moment. Because we often forget. We forget that those who speak the most are usually those who fear the most. We forget that the energy someone expends picking apart our appearance is almost never truly about our appearance. We forget that obsession, even when it manifests as criticism, is still obsession. These two people, in their own messy, immature, and contradiction-filled way, are absolutely captivated by you. They cannot look away, and that reveals something about your energy that I hope you can hold on to on the days when it does not feel obvious, because you are the kind of person who commands attention, even when you are not trying, even when you are healing, even when you are quiet, and even when you believe you have somehow become less. You have not. You have not. You are actually more. They feel it. That is the entire problem for them. So what they said regarding your body was, yes, shocking, and yes, it would leave you speechless had you been present to hear it. But it is not shocking due to the cruelty. It is shocking because of how much it reveals and how loudly it tells you that while you have been busy living your life, healing your body, building your thing, and stepping into who you are becoming, two people have been so affected by your mere existence that they have made you the center of their private world. They are orbiting you, and they would never admit that. They would rather argue about your waist, your hair, and your looks. They would rather pick the elements they can point to. But you know the truth now. And the truth is that your presence alone is loud enough to send people into their feelings without you uttering a single word. It is not something they can take from you. That is not something a conversation in a parking lot can affect. That belongs to you, and it always has. It is time to reclaim your narrative. You are not who they perceive you to be. You are exactly who God knows you to be. You can instantly silence the noise of their judgment by leaning deeper into the frequency of your own self-love. Tune them out by tuning into the highest truth of your own being. Let them talk. Let them walk. Let them attempt to solve a puzzle that was never intended for their understanding. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a presence to be witnessed. And whether they admit it or not, they are witnessing you. They are your unwilling audience, and your life is a performance for which they paid no ticket to see. So provide them with a show of moving forward, a show of rising higher, a show of becoming so fully and unapologetically yourself that their distorted funhouse mirror shatters under the pressure of your light. Let them choke on the dust of your becoming. You are not who they say you are. You never were. And the only words that matter are the ones you speak over your